Dan, we usually call this next segment Saved You a Click, but these are things we actually want you to click on. We're going to review the best Boston Globe sports stories of 2025. Dan, you go first. What was your most memorable article that was in the paper?
My man Alex Spear, Stat Masterson, came up with a beauty back in January on the Red Sox going to the sophistication of driveline technology for their entire organization, how they're that much smarter than everybody else. You know, they're talking about hit tracks and biomechanical reviews, intended zones. It's skull-imploding data, which is what drives the Red Sox. And I'm waiting for the flux capacitor, which you brought out to measure all this stuff. And then fast forward, in spring training, Jim Rice is kicked out of the batting cage for trying to tell one of the young hitters what to do because we don't teach that here. We don't teach hitting line drives by one of the smarty drive line guys. So the great Alex Spear, great teammate we have, does this wonderful story. Made my skull implode, but it's important to tell you what they're up to in Red Sox training.
Absolutely. So I hate to be a little conceited. I'm going to choose something that I wrote back in August. I ventured down to Chapel Hill to spend a few days there and get the vibe of Bill Belichick and him coaching UNC. And I wasn't quite sure what to expect when I showed up to the football facility and saw the coach. But you know what? He gave me about 15 minutes of his time, was very gracious. We talked all about, not really all about, but he gave me some quotes when we talked about college football. And frankly, he gave me the quote of the year. I asked him a very basic question. What's the difference in coaching college football? And he immediately launches into, there's no owner's son, which is, man, what a shot right at the crafts. And obviously that's something that has continued throughout the year, the barbs back and forth. So Bill Belichick and that disaster at UNC this season, to me, that was one of the top stories of the year. Dan Shaughnessy, what else do you have?
Really important story done by Kevin Paul Dupont of the Globe. Went down to the South Shore to see Alice Cook, one of the great reporters in Boston sports history, the greatest woman athlete in Boston sports history for about the 30 years that she worked at Channel 4, Olympic figure skater from 1976, longtime correspondent for Channel 4, Patriots, Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, all that. Alice has been afflicted with ALS and is incredibly brave and incredibly heroic and started the Boston Marathon last year. And Kevin Dupont went down there and our video team went down there to put together a piece on what it's like to live with this horrible disease, this unspeakable disease, and to fight back. And Alice Cook, God bless you. Have a good new year in 2026.